and welcome to Piano Lesson 17. Woohoo! I'm back. That's right. So I've been pretty busy the past couple of months. My girlfriend had a concert. Today actually is our 8th month anniversary thing, if you want to call it that. So she had a concert. She was playing Beethoven's Fantasy Choral for like 1,000 people in the audience, plus there's like 250 people in the choir, and then a full orchestra, and then she was on the piano, and her piece was about half an hour long. So, being the good boyfriend I am, I waited in line I got there like about 3 hours early, just so that I could have the first seat, because it was open seating. So I ended up getting like front row seats and all this other stuff, and it was nice. So I actually snuck my camera in, and I took like a short video clip, so I'm going to show it to you guys, just in case you wanted to see. And if you don't, just skip ahead like a minute or something. So here it is. So, did you like that? Yeah, it's pretty good, huh? She's been playing for, I think, 20 years, or close to 20 years, maybe 16 or 17 years. She probably isn't going to like the fact that I actually put her up on YouTube, but oh well. She's a little bit too hard on herself, I guess, in that respect. But I think she did really well. She rocked it out. Okay. Anyway, and so this lesson is going to be all about sight reading. Okay, so I've been getting pretty much like 5-6 emails a day, sometimes more, asking me different questions about like, hey, how do you sight read? Or hey, how do you play chords quickly? Or hey, how can I read sheet music faster? Blah blah blah. Stuff like that, and then way more questions about a whole bunch of other topics too. Like, it's starting to get overwhelming, but yeah. That's why I decided I should make this video, because I thought, yeah, sight reading's a good thing to teach, even though, to be honest, it's not exactly what I'm very good at. I'd say sight reading is actually one of my not so great skills. Don't tell my teacher. I don't really practice sight reading so much. It's not that I don't know what to do, because I've actually been taking this piano pedagogy program for learning to teach piano, like an actual certificate that teaches, like it's all certified, and you have to take an exam and then an oral exam and then all this other stuff. And when I say oral, I don't mean that they go open wide, let's see, dental hygiene there. No. So yeah, I know all the things to go with sight reading, it's just that I don't practice it enough. So sight reading, like anything else, just requires a lot of practice. Just like you have to practice a piece to get better at it, you have to practice sight reading to get better at it. So the first thing you need to know before you can sight read is how to read sheet music. So if you aren't already fluent with that, like if you can't look at a note and sort of know what it is, then I would probably brush up on your notation reading. You can go back to one of my previous videos, I think it's number 4, and I did that one on how to read sheet music. So it tells you all the notes and stuff like that. Okay, so first thing what you want to do, sight reading. I've got this little piece out. It's actually from a grade 5 sight reading book, so I thought it would be simple enough to show you guys what I mean. Okay, so here we go. Okay. So, whenever you start looking at, like, say you're going to sight read something, this also helps you read sheet music faster as well. So first of all, first thing you want to do is you want to look, okay, what's my key signature? It's kind of like a pre-trip check. Like if you're going in a car and you know how you're supposed to like kick the tires and check all the like tire pressure and do a 360 degree walk around of your vehicle before you get in sometimes. Well, let's just say this is one of those pre-checks that you probably should do. Well, I guess you should do the pre-check with your car, but whatever. I don't know how many people actually do that. Okay, so first of all, first thing you want to look at, you want to start from here and then read out this way. So first thing you're going to do is check out, okay, is it treble clef and bass clef? Is it a grand staff with a brace and all that other stuff? And yes, we can see treble clef, bass clef is right there. Now the next thing we're going to do is we check out the key signature. Now the key signature here, you can see it has one sharp, and if we remember our order of sharps, Father Charles goes down and ends battle, we know that the first one is going to be an F sharp. Okay, so all Fs from here are sharped unless otherwise noted by an accidental, such as like a natural or a double sharp, but you won't see a double sharp. Let's just say all Fs are sharped, okay? So we know that all Fs are sharped, it's treble, bass, then we see, okay, now we're going to check our time signature, it's 3, 4, so that should all take you about like a second or two to figure out. Just da-da-da-da-da. Okay. So it's like you've entered your parameters for the program you're about to play or something, if you're a computer. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, you take a quick little scan over the piece. You're just like do 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 do, and then note the final keys that it's playing on, because there's nothing worse than sight reading a piece and ending on the very wrong note. Like if you're supposed to go, oh crap, and that's how you end the piece. Not very impressive. So take a quick little note of what the last notes are, and then quickly go back. So those are 2 G's, by the way. So we'll go back over here. Now we look at what note it starts on. So now you know the end of the notes. You know what key signature it is, what time signature. The time signature plays a big part because it's going to be kind of like how you're going to count this. Because when you're doing this, you definitely want to be counting, because since you've never heard the piece before, you don't really know how it goes. So if you just try and play the song without knowing how it goes, it's just gonna, you're very likely to like mess up some of the timing, even unless you've got like a high degree of scale, like you can just look at music and see how the pattern goes. It's still a lot safer to count it out. Okay, so this, by the way, is called a pickup beat. Now the pickup beat, it has the first part of the bar here, so you've got 1 quarter note, which represents 1 beat, and if you look over here, there's a half note, 2 beats. So basically they've taken 1 bar, put the first 2 beats here, and the last beat here. Now what that does is it kind of like leads into the song. Now, okay, so when you're sight reading, you want to be looking for one thing, patterns. So as you're going along, you'll just go, okay, this is a D, and this is a G. So you'll get your hands in that position. So you'll be like, dun dun dun, okay, I've got my thumb here, and then my other thumb here. So my hands are all in the right position. Now you'll probably want to put your fingers up so they're on the F sharp, because you have to remember all F's are sharped. Okay, so we got that. Okay, now we're looking at here again. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we've got the D. Now, without looking down at the piano, you're going to find the G. So, the main thing is don't be doing this. Okay, this is a D. Okay, D. What's the next one? G. G. What? Oh, G, A, B? B? No, wait, oh, see how kind of like stuttered that is? What you want to do, now if you're teaching someone that doesn't know how to read music, or you're teaching someone, what I actually do is if they're going up, down, all the time, I'll put like a book like right here so they can't see their hands, because what you need to do is you just have to feel where the keys are without looking at them. So you'll read it like, okay, I'm on a D here, and then you go, okay, so that's 4 up. So D, E, F, G. So you go D and then E, F, well F sharp, D, F, G. So you'll just kind of skip as it goes, and then here we can see it's repeated again, and it goes up 1, and then skips down a third, and then up a second. I don't know if I taught intervals. Well, I'll just assume that I did. Okay, so I'm on A, and then basically you're just counting what the steps of the notes are, because you don't want to be going like D, G, G, A, B, G, A, B, like, and so on and so forth. You just want to be like D, up 4, same, up 1, down 2, up 1, down 2, up 1, like that, and that's how you'll read it. So, okay, now that's the other part. So, try and look at the notes and then feel where they are on the piano, so that you shouldn't have to look at the piano unless it's any more of a jump than over an octave. So basically, if you have a piece like all something like that, I just made that up. Doesn't sound very good. Anyway, but you wouldn't have looked at the piano for any of that. You'd only look maybe if you're jumping from like here to like here, or something like that, because you aren't really sure how far it is. Okay, so look, feel. So look at the notes, feel them on the piano. Okay, and the only one you're going to be finding is the first note. Now you might wonder, okay, how am I supposed to play the left hand with the right hand now? Well, okay. So, this is kind of the tricky part. Normally, when you start sight reading, you're only going to sight read one line and one hand at a time. Now this is a little bit trickier, sight reading. So, with this, what you're going to do, the key with sight reading is go slow, like a snail. Very, very slow. So you're going to play like... I should have been counting there, huh? That's a bad example. So you'd go 3 and 1 and 2 and 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 3. Oh, wait a minute. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and... Yeah, don't you love my mess up there? I'm the teacher, and I I just kind of started going on autopilot, and I didn't even think what I was doing. Okay, so I don't have the ability to play 2 hands sight reading right now because I have to hold one with my camera. I'm using one to hold the camera. Isn't that convenient? Okay, so if you're playing 2 hands, you're going to go even slower, and you're going to go... So start with your D, and then you're going to find the same note here, and then you're going to try and look at these and line them up. So you'll find one hand that is sort of... So you'll find one hand that is going to keep the beat. Now if you look here, this is a very easy beat to keep. You're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, like that. So what I would do is I'd use the left hand as kind of like the thing to keep me steady. The metronome or whatever. So I'd start here on the G. And So you're going to keep this steady, and then you're going to try and think of it in lines. So you'll start on the D, and then down together, and then, so this is where counting really helps. So it'd be like 3 and 1 and 2 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and. Now, okay, so once you have like gotten all these things absorbed into your head when you start, so you just go through your checklist, look at the last note, how you end, look at the first note, and if there's any parts in between when you do your check over the music, if there's any parts that look hard, like maybe something like this or something, take a little closer look, try and figure out how that would sound and look how it would feel with your fingers, okay, and how like the rhythm's going to go. Then when you start, you're going to start slow, you're going to start counting, and then as you play this, you're going to be looking ahead. Kind of like driving a car. So if you're like that, driving, everyone knows that if you're driving here, like if you've driven a car before, you know that you don't look right down the center of your head and you're like, whoa, okay. So, well, actually I don't have a hood here, but but you don't look right down at the front of your hood, right in front of your headlights, and look at the pavement and be like, okay, there's where I'm driving now. You start like weaving in and out. What you do is you look into the distance, and then you look way ahead, and then you can kind of see everything ahead of you. Same idea here. You're going to be driving this way, so it's like your car is here. Wherever you are playing is kind of like where your car is. So it's like you're right here. So you start playing the D, and then you're driving to like say the G. Now, before you even start, you should look ahead at the first few bars, so that way it's like you're like parked here and you've kind of figured out, okay, I'm going to play this. Then as you start driving, you're going to be looking ahead into like these notes and these notes. So when you're here, like this, driving along, you're actually looking here. So you've already figured out what you're going to be playing after this. That way you always stay ahead of the music, and that way you aren't caught off guard. And how you determine how fast you can sight read is how fast can you read the notes and figure out. Because if you're driving faster than you can read the notes, then obviously your car is going to go farther ahead than you can see, and that's when you crash. So try and develop your sight reading technique. So what you can even do is you don't even have to play. You can just take a book and just go like, hey, okay, I'm going to quickly do a check in my head here. Look, treble clef, see? It does pay off. It's not always treble bass, it's treble clef. So that just means all these notes are where they are, and then all these notes are where they'd be on the treble clef. So that would be an E on a treble clef, so that's just this E here. And this is still middle C right here, just like that. Okay. So you'll just go along, you'll see your music, and then you'll try, what you can do is you can just open the book and then try and like read, like go through it and just be like, okay, step down, step down, step down, up, and then, okay, also whenever you see like a space to another space, and it's like, okay, space to space, this space to this space is called a third. And this space and then you skip a space and then you go to the next space, that's called a fifth. And same thing, if you went from like line to line, that's a third, and line to line to line is another fifth. So a fifth is basically, that's a fifth and this is a third. Doesn't that sound familiar? C major, yeah. It's just like a chord. Okay, so you'll just be going along and you just read through the music, stuff like that, all good, and try and get your mind to think of two at once. So you're thinking one, step down, up, up. So you're on like the top now, and then you're thinking together, down, down, top, down, down, together, dun, 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 like that kind of. So you can think of it, and then just reading the music will get you faster reading it when you're like actually trying to play it. Okay, so I hope everything helped there. So just remember, look ahead. Don't let the car get ahead of where you're looking. Practice hard on that. This is an extremely important skill that I have neglected quite a bit, and I kind of regret it. I do remember one time I focused a lot on sight reading and I was starting to get good at it. Eventually, you look at notes as nothing, like not even really hard to play. They're just things telling you what to do, and you can just play it as fast as you can see it. It's great. Okay, so there we go. Piano lesson number 17. So 18, I've decided. This one guy sent me this email and he was saying that I should teach a lesson on how to learn new hard pieces and how to practice them and stuff like that. So I'll probably be posting that video up shortly. I might even record it right now, actually. If not, I'll record it maybe tomorrow or something like that. Okay, so I hope that sight reading helped. Somehow I think I was all over the map with that. My earlier lessons were more planned because I had them all written out and I had point mode and everything. I just had everything so organized and I had a lot more time than I do right now. But I hope that helped. I hope you guys are getting better at piano too. Okay, so take care. Happy practicing. Bye-bye.